Hello, everyone. This is Bahanur Nasya from Wonderland, and this is a new episode for the Tracts series. And I have today Christina from Madrid here with me. Christina, would you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Thank you to invite me in this webinar. I'm Christina Palmese, as you said, and I am original from Naples, but I have been based in Madrid since 2001. And I am an architect, an audiovisual artist, and I founded in Madrid a Paisaje Sensorial Office Lab with José Luis Carles. He was a biologist and composer and a specialist in ecology. So we have a very a multidisciplinary office. And I think my Napolitan roots has a significant influence in my scientific career. The environment where I grow up is a result, really mix activity from nature and human, and this activity engaged all sense the character of the people, the importance of sound of every day, the ability to adapt to unexpected. Is all these are characteristics characterize the Napolitan people. Also, the omnipresence of Vesuvio is very strong presence. Have inspired my investigation, my interest for the relationship between people and environment, people and other being in the earth. Um, um, in my study, in the architectural study, the sound wasn't really very important. But for me, for the first moment that I started to study architecture, was really fundamental for understand or for study or create space. Maybe because I don't see very well, but and the sound was really important for me in my organization on my daily life. And after that, I introduced this aspect as a fundamental for my research and my creativity. And so our work move in the academic space, but also in artistic space. Try to find a common point without separate art, academic, scientific. To try to to go ahead all these different framework. We think it's very important to go ahead to improve no, our relationship with the world, mix the art, science, and all these difference. So we are very interested in the situated experience in the place, and our work is characterized for trying to connect with the place, start our research from this connection with this specific space. A soundscape was really a good point, a good perspective for us to connect this different world, emotional, scientific, metric, physics, all this kind of perspective.
You mentioned connect and disconnect, and also Napoli and now Spain, Madrid. I wonder, where is the disconnection, or is there a specific place? Is it the built environment? Is it nature? Is it the park? Is it the street? Is it where, which area, or what gives you an invitation to work on, or what triggers you? Where do you feel like this place has to be captured through sound? How do you choose your working area?
I think it's bizarre that I start in Naples, but in Naples I was more a traditional architect, understanding as in demiurgo, no? Somebody that draw and make project in a traditional field of architecture. But after I understand little by little, maybe when I met Jose Luis, no, that our world is more connected that how my traditional study no, transmit me. Because um, for me now, the most important aren't the place or the out of environment. But it's very important the relationship, but and the conscience, the awareness of our body in relationship with all world around us. So when we stay in a specific, after I want to show you briefly three projects that show the different situation, a different approach, a different place, but with the same aptitude or the same interest and he show how the soundscape, the sound, can be an interesting perspective to understand this topic or this is a different situation. Of course, soundscape need to combine with the all senses no? Because the other really interesting for me this because I start with some only soundscape a part of my research, but after I understand that we need to combine our body, the awareness of our body, the capacity to build connection with the environment of our body. We live in a very complex moment, no? Our body is relegate, no? And we use our head. We use only the abstract relationship that are in this moment. The scream is really important, but we have all our body that is present in our life, in our perception, in our definition also of what is the well-being, what is our comfortable space. This is really complex because it's related also the challenger of our contemporary world, no? Because also the question of energy transition that now is moving in a specific technological and specific thought, but really is related in how we consider well-being, comfort, and so on. No? And I think the sound, the listening, can play a very important role in this improvement of our awareness of our body and our relationship with the earth, the other habitant of the earth. No?
Thank you. Christina, would you like to share a little bit your work
Yes.
with us? And
Yes. Uh, s- and I titled this presentation Transformed by Listening. No? And this is the very important point, how through the sound and listening, we can really transform our contact with the other people and pay attention to our body, pay attention to a collective body, and pay attention to the environment. Of course, this three layer is three, but interconnected because this is a starting point to um, every research for eyes. No, it's really important to start from this starting point. No? And soundscape maybe is really a good starting point to relate ourselves to the environment. I Soundscape was a new concept, really, because in the last of 17 from three different field, different group, specifically the three different people, we can think about them, um, introduce this concept. Was interesting that was in different place and in different contexts. The first, maybe the most important because he organized really the field of study on soundscape was Murray Schafer, was a composer. And for him is very important the educational aspect of soundscape. And he started in Vancouver in Canada and start to record and open this field of study. We speak about him after. And the other important was Michael Southworth. He, in his master degree, he introduced the concept of soundscape in a study in Boston. He was interesting because he's a student from by the David Kevin Lynch, and he amplified this emotional, subjective importance of the context in the urban planning. Kevin Lynch introduced really a revolutionary idea about how to study a city and um, urban space. Max Saltworth see the importance of sound in this definition, but after this study, he don't continue this approach. The other is really important researcher artist was Max Neuhaus. Max Neuhaus is very important because he introduced the concept of sound design, how we can design the soundscape in a space. And also it's very interesting his work with the people. He organized meeting where they invite the people only listen or the city, listen the sound of the city, the everyday sound, and it was very revolutionary in this moment. Maybe also today is a very revolutionary because it's a really a banal, no? Invitation, but this is very important because change completely our relationship with the environment. So this concept introduced the very important changes in our relationship with the urban planning, design, importance of sound in our life. The first one was to analyze and design the soundscape because the people normally think that soundscape is something that stay there and we can change it. And we are the performer of this soundscape also, and we can change and design this soundscape. Also, it's go beyond of a physical approach of sound because until this moment, the 17th, the sound acoustic was a really important discipline, but also is really simple and related to the physical element or variable of sound, frequencies, the um, the response of materials, and so on. But all the memory, the relationship with the normal sound of every day is completely um, don't have any importance in this context. So the soundscape introduced the identity, the characterization of identity, of sense of place, because as I said before, we are performer, and we carry all our culture, the traditional memory in our performance as perform in the city and in the urban space. So the importance of a social, cultural aspect and in the design of future, this aspect is very important. Also, grow up in this moment the concept of acoustic ecology, also the interrelationship between human sound and the relationship with our connection with the nature from the beginning of our the beginning of when the human beings stay in the in the earth, because in also now in the specific ambient when the people need to connect with the nature for understand, and it's important for their life. No, I am thinking in the in this the selva, no, in this in the in ambience where the sight can help us, but the sound, yes, is really interesting to study how we relate with the nature through the sound. And also, it's interesting the music and the music because in the 15th, the last century, many artists, musicians like John Cage or Pierre Schaeffer use the sound in a very different way and amplify the concept of music and introducing the everyday sound, no? The importance, the manipulate the everyday sound to make sound, music. And this experience also is very important for us to know and in order to change our consideration of sound in our life. Schaeffer was the most important, even though now we are go ahead, is a idea, but it's fundamental for the um, organization of soundscape study. The Cresson was really important center from the beginning of at the end of the 17th. Cresson was a laboratory in Cresson in architecture school in Grenoble in France, and Jean-François Augoyard was a philosopher and urbanist who opened this idea, introducing interdisciplinary approach to the soundscape. And also Pascal Anfou and Jean-Paul Thibault, there are researchers that develop methodology and organize a new field about soundscape. Of course, there are many other groups now that study and maybe more related the physical aspect of soundscape. But also it's very interesting because in these two way to understand soundscape, more technical or more qualitative approach, open a very fruitful discussion about the physics, phenomenology, and qualitative art or emotional aspect in the urban space. Um, Actually, the sound we can understand, you know, the sound define and qualify our space is related with the time, is related with the physical variable, but also with our memory, our emotion is capable to feel make feel something really hidden in our life. So for this reason, we can eh, became a crucial element for understand relate with in our research. And also, as I said before, listening is a very central and radical exercise, no, to understand our environment and give us the possibility to transform it. The deep listening is something that is present in music. Now, Paulino Olivero was the composer that introduced this concept and can be very useful for us. I show briefly three projects of our study of our office. The first one was in the context, in academic context. We studied the idea of border of frontier. This is really interesting in our context, contemporary context, where this idea of space and the boundaries is really a little bit worried about this concept, and we use soundscape as a tools to understand what was the thing that is common in a border space, and what how we through the soundscape, the sound, we can understand this problematic. In this moment, there was three university, the University of Casablanca, University Capodistria of Athens, and Autónoma de Madrid. And we are thinking the possibility to make a European project, and his the occasion to ask for the if somebody wants join us in this project and have some idea about the how we can study, you know, the border in this moment is a really interesting topic for us. The other project was exploratory project commissioned by the municipality. Was only exploratory. The result wasn't introduced in the plan of municipality, but was the first step because it isn't really easy to share the importance of the soundscape, the sound in the city, in the life in the city. Even though the noise is really a big problem, no? But it's a question of noise only. No? If we understand the soundscape, all aspects of soundscape, maybe we can provide a good solution for the noise in the big city. In this project, we use different method. This was a map of impromptu interview. It was really interesting because the people don't In the first moment, there is no sound is not important for me, but little by little they speak really talk us interesting perspective about sound. The other important tools was the sound work. We are working on this specific method, and this is a way to combine different tools, no? The walking, share idea, wish with the people organizing sound walk to open the possibility to incorporate people during this sound walk to stay in a space for a long time and open a fruitful debate about sound walk. Also, we have the ISO standard, no, is they try to organize the soundwalk with a protocol, a very strict protocol, but it's very difficult, no, to close this experience, no, in a protocol. But it's interesting because we are improving, no, in the two quantitative and qualitative approximation. We improve, no, our definition of sound walk. We make this sound walk in Puerto del Sol. It's a very controversial space because it's a very the last project was last year. It's really a terrible space because the people were living there now with it's very hot in Madrid and the people can cross because we haven't any possibility to have some shadow in this place. And so it's for us it's really interesting when we approach a space. Is city is a park in the city is a different place. It's the same approach. Of course, the result was very different. The last one project, I think is really interesting because it was the sequence of Guadarrama was a project in the mountain near Madrid, and it was a hybrid methodology, academic and artistic. And we stay one here in the mountain with the people, make a sound walk, make a conversation, recording, and informal meeting. And in the end, we all together, we compose a concert, a music for the concert by performance. And the citizen was the performer in this moment. Also, the would man that bring in the stage a wood and cut. It was really interesting because we create all together, citizen, municipality, and the researcher, a really interesting ambience, and the result of this project was a concert, the most important result. So this is what the children interpreted the soundscape house in the school was really nice to see that the children have a very clear idea what is their soundscape. Eh,
Thank you, Kristen. I find it very interesting to work with sound because, as you said, it's not static. It's not like the object which reflects light and you more or less can recapture the situation with same daytime or so. Uh, it's also because with every participant in the environment, you get a different mix of sound. Every
mm,
person walking on the street, being on phone or not. being in the southern where people maybe talk more or meet more in the public space than in other places, which is not so densely populated or where people are not so much meeting in the public space. It makes a big difference. And I want to ask you because you said you are looking at how the whole environment is sounding. I think the built environment and maybe also the people somehow are um, the common participants in our environment. Did you figure out anything related to animals or plants? How the non-speaking, let's say non-speaking part or non-intentionally organized participants of the environment feel or add to the soundscape of a city?
Yes, I think this is a really interesting, perspective that we are try to pay attention the connection between all all um, human and non human, no? Also, because the soundscape is a result in the interconnection, no? Because in the first moment also was very important the presence of the plant or that participant in the soundscape, in the how the sound is move in the space because sometimes the plant was used to stop the sound come from a place as a barrier, no? But I think now we are improving this uh, consideration of the other element or the other being in the world, no? Because how we understand the sound as natural or non-natural, because it's interesting in soul the observation, because it's true that every people have a different perception or understanding of the soundscape, but in sometimes it's very interesting what the people said about their soundscape and open a window in something that you don't have preview understand. In Seoul, there are a fountain, a public fountain, and the participant in the soundwalk said, but this sound of water isn't a really natural sound because the water was in a context very different. This sound don't help us to connect with the nature. It's something really um, uh, difficult to hear. So this is a really interesting observation to openly discuss about what is nature, what is our relationship with the nature, when the nature is really connected with us, with our body, and help us to improve our life. And when this sound is considered a natural, a very nice, no, for us, isn't this nice, no? And so it's, we try now to introduce some question or some instruction, no, to analyze the environment. The instruction open instruction, giving the possibility to understand not only the human being, but also everything, every being or no being or not considered being in our environment.
Mhm. Thank you, Christina. Yeah, I can just relate. I mean, every place, every city sounds different, and we should imagine the cities without the sounds which we are used to. That would be kind of like the films. Your favorite film without the sound wouldn't be the film you have in your memory. I think it's a significant element which connects us with our memory, our identity, a connection, as you said. And it's maybe as well the smell of places makes also a very big impression because we have all our senses which come together and form what we perceive from our environment. And yeah, thank you very much, Christina. That was very helpful to listen to hear about your methodology and where you listen in built environment especially, and also thanks for the introduction with all the researchers who um, started the work of Soundscape. Um, I'm happy that you joined us today. I don't know if you have final comments to close the webinar.
No, no, only this field is very rich and I passionate. It's really interesting for me to share, no, this idea, and I hope it's more people are interested in this field, and we can improve this field.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
if you are interested in sound in your build or grown environment, you can feel free to connect with Christina. We will share her contacts in the description. Thank you for coming, Christina. And
Thank
you,
you.
I hope to see you in a new webinar.
Yes, I hope also. Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.